All right, you guys, welcome to this week's Wednesday night success call. I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight. We are going to be talking about branding. I was on live on Instagram earlier, and for those of you who are close watchers of me and other coaches, really pay attention to the things that we do. I have oh my gosh, I have at least 100 topics of classes that I have in my one folder of classes or excuse me, in my binder that I have created. And then I have just a ton of questions as well. I told you guys, whenever you guys send me questions, I always print them out. And so today, like I said, I have content, but I wanted to make sure that I'm serving you guys where you are. So I didn't want to keep bringing you content that was either a little bit too far ahead of where you are or a little bit too far behind. So I went on live today on Instagram and I asked you guys, where are you guys at? What do you guys need? Right? And so I do the things that I tell you guys to do. If you don't know what to teach, ask your audience. They'll tell you. And so I got a couple people saying a few things. And so the one that I decided to go with was Branding 101 because I think that's very cool because it's the basis of building any business. So I'm actually going to teach you guys out of my workbook. For those of you guys who have the Life Coach's Guide to Building Your Business, Brand, and Bank, I'm actually going to be reading from pages 41, 42, or excuse me, 40. I'm going to be reading pages, 41 through 43 about building your brand. So if you guys want to go along with me, if you have the physical book or the digital, that's where I'm going to be reading from this evening before I actually give you guys the content. So on page number 41, it just says build your brand. A brand, by definition, is a type of product manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. Now, this is the shocker. You guys who open up my email, and I told you guys what I'm going to share with you may shock you a little bit about branding, but I promise you I will make it make sense. So it goes on to say, believe it or not, you are already branded. People already have you branded as one thing or another. If you always show up on time when you meet with friends, family, or at work, that's your brand. If you typically show up late to places, that's your brand as well. How you speak, dress, treat other people, and how you generally show up in the world is your brand. When a person goes into business, they begin to brand themselves. What they are essentially doing is trying to control how you see and experience them. Because we are already branded, when you begin to do it intentionally and consciously, you will alter how you show up in the world, which will in turn alter how people see and experience you. You are the brand as a life coach, so be very mindful of how you represent yourself. Branding goes a lot deeper than colors and fonts and logos. Although all of those parts of branding are essential, it's just not as essential it's just as essential to know that you yourself, as the life coach, are the brand. If you look back on some of my old YouTube videos, I was all over the place. When I started my business, I wasn't consistent with my colors, my fonts, or the look and feel of my brand. However, when I started working with a coach and getting the correct information and the right way to represent myself to the marketplace, that's when I started getting clients. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. The same mistakes that I did, and I don't want you to have have to stumble through the process. So then it goes on to having you write down a few things. But I wanted to share that with you guys to share with you that you are already branded. Whatever you say about yourself is your brand. If you say, oh my gosh, I am so stupid, or oh my gosh, I am always so late, or oh my gosh, I am so motivational, or oh my gosh, I am so inspirational, or oh my gosh, I always see things on the positive side. Those descriptive words that you are telling yourself and saying to yourself and to other people, that is your brand. I want you guys to understand that you're already branded. You as a person, right? And so, just like I said in the workbook, when people go into business, that's when they become consciously aware of the fact that now eyeballs are going to be on me. So now I need to act a certain way, do a certain thing, have these, certain fonts and colors, when they don't realize that all along they were already branded and people were already pegging them as this or that. So when you go into business, like I said, your job is to do your very best to get your message across to your audience. So I want to share with you guys, for those of you guys, wait, before I share that, for you guys that are thinking about your fonts and your brand colors and all of that, I just want to share a couple things with you guys. Most of you guys are connected to me on Instagram, and a couple weeks ago, I had started using the color red, and I had gotten all these messages from people saying, Angel, are you changing your brand colors to red? I see that you're using red more. Are you changing your colors to red? And it's like now, now if you look at my Instagram, you don't even see the color red anymore. You see I'm back to pink, right? And so this is why I don't hone in so much with colors for a personal brand, because you are the brand. That's how I feel. When people were asking me, Angel, did you change your brand color to red? I'm like, I am the brand. So no matter what color I show up in, that's my brand color for the day. Now, as a personal brand, we have the leisure to do that. Now, like I always say, if you go to Target tomorrow and that red dot is turned to blue or yellow or green, we're all going to look at it like, what's going on with Target? Why did they change that color? That's a big box store, right? And so they have a little bit more at stake than them changing that red dot to red one week and yellow the next week. But as a personal brand, when you have built a strong personal brand, you will get the freedom to just be a little bit more lax with your worrying about your colors or worrying about a business card and all of that stuff. You are your brand. This is what I really want you to get. You are your brand, and yes, you will have like an online brand presence. I'm not saying to trash your colors or to trash your fonts. You want all of that stuff to be copacetic, but I just don't want you guys to spend so much time there, because there's so many people that have been working on their websites for 3 months. I'm like, girl, you don't even need a website. Why are we spending 3 months on a website? Or what brand color should I pick? I'm like, girl, what's your favorite color? It's black. Let's go with that. Like, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. So I want to share with you guys just 5 personal branding tips for my note takers. Go ahead and write the word brand going down the left-hand side of your page. And for those of you guys who have the physical book or the ebook, I'm reading from page number 43. So number 1 for the word B for my note takers, put the word brand going down the left-hand side of your page. And I've taught this class before, so many of you guys have heard this content before. You have my permission to luxuriate during this time. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please write them down, and I will open up the call at the end. Number 1 for B, for 5 tips for personal branding, for B is to be impeccable with your word. Successful brands are consistent with what they say they'll do. I've shared this story so many times. When I had my physical store, my physical boutique, there would be days that if nobody was coming in the store that day, or if it was low traffic out on Main Street, or God forbid, if it started drizzling or raining, it would be nothing for me to close that day. Absolutely nothing. I would open at 11, and if only one person came in from 11 to 1, I'm like, it's going to be a slow day. I'm going to close my store. And I would have people that would come to my store and call me from the parking lot and say, Angel, I'm sitting outside of your store. Are you going to open today? Now, I want you guys to think about the last time you guys went to Target. And I believe Target opens at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., wherever you are. And I want you to tell me the last time you had to sit out in the parking lot and call Target headquarters and ask them, the door says 7 o'clock, but it's 7:03 and nobody's here yet. When was the last time you had to do that? Not never. Not never. You ask one of my old customers how many times they had to do that at my store. More times than I care for y'all to know, okay? So being impeccable with your word helps you build a solid brand. It helps you build a brand that people can rely on, that people will grow to trust, and that people will ultimately, they won't mind spending their money with you. So you have to be impeccable with your word. And if you can't be impeccable with your word, be an impeccable human being and just say so. That's all it takes. We're human. We're living this life. If you can't do something that you said you were going to do, if you were going to deliver something that you said you were going to deliver and you cannot, that still requires you to be impeccable with your word and just share with your clients. Something happened. I had to do it a couple weeks ago. My computer crashed and I didn't have access to any of my audios for 2 weeks. So if you guys during the last 2 weeks asked me to send you a copy of something, of a digital product, just know that I had to go through hoops to get that, dealing with the way that my computer was acting up last week. But I had to let my client know that there was going to be a wait. I apologize, but things happen. So being impeccable with your word will help you build a solid brand. Number 2 for R is to reinvent yourself often. It's okay to reinvent yourself, you guys. As you grow and change, so will your business and audience will too. Oftentimes, if you guys were on with us live today and I was talking to the American Soldier, I think it's Miss Bernadette. I think her name is Bernadette. And we were talking about honing in on your niche. And I was sharing that a lot of people don't like to niche down because they think once they stake their claim as, say, a confidence coach or a business coach or a weight loss coach, like they feel like they have to stay within that box or they can't go outside of that topic. And that's not true. Eventually once you stick it in there long enough and you build your brand, you will have the opportunity to reinvent yourself as you grow and your business grows. So don't be afraid to reinvent yourself, even if you guys are just starting out, especially if you guys are just starting out, because there's not a lot of eyeballs on you right now, right? And so a lot of times we do exactly what the Bible tells us not to do. The Bible tells us do not despise the days of small beginnings, and that's exactly what we do. Only 2 people showed up on my call, or only 1 person showed up on my live. So just don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Like I said, especially if you're in the beginning stages, you don't have a lot of eyeballs on you right now anyway. Number 3 for A is awareness is key to building your brand. For A is awareness. Write that down. Awareness is key to building your brand. You need eyeballs on your stuff, and marketing is key. Marketing is the way to build awareness, you guys. If nobody is aware of you, guess what? They're not going to buy from you. They're not going to shop with you. They're not going to tag people and tell them about your classes and your courses. So awareness is key, you guys. And every single day, like oftentimes when I just taught my 6-day class challenge a couple weeks ago, and I was sharing with them that it's not always like a lot of times people say, well, how do you keep building content? Like I'm running out of things to say. And more often than not, it's not so much new content that you need, it's new eyeballs. If you guys have been connected to me for any amount of time, number 1, y'all know I already taught this class that I'm teaching you right here, Branding 101, but there's new people that have never heard me share this before, right? And so oftentimes it is new eyeballs that you need, not so much new content, because people are being introduced to us every single day. And so you may have taught something last month, and now you got 10 new people that are aware of you, and now here you are teaching this again, and it's new to them. And I will go as far as to saying this, even the people that are connected to you, leaders understand the power of repetition. We understand the power of repetition. So even if you teach a class that you taught last week or that you taught last month, so what? Repetition is the mother of skill. And like I said, leaders, your students are leaders. That's why they're coming to you. They understand that they need to hear something over and over and over again. So it's not so much always new content. More often than not, it's new eyeballs that you need. All right, number 4 for N. Now I'm going to say this, and I'm only going to say it one time. Never give up. never give up is N. Never give up. And then I go on to say in the book, do not despise the days of small beginnings. You will manifest your dreams if you don't give up. I don't want to spend too much time on that point because that's a whole lot of rah rah, hoo hoo, ha ha that I just don't have in me. If you are at the point where you want to give up on your business, honey, I don't know what to tell you at this point in stage in my life and in yours. I really don't, because the state of the world that we are in today, if you don't have an urgency to stick it through in the things that God has called you to do, honey, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so let's move on. Number 5, the last and final one for D, is do not compare your brand to others. Comparison can stifle your growth and steal your joy. Keep your eyes on the road, your road. Keep your eyes on the road, your road. You guys, I can't express this enough. Oftentimes we think that because we're new and people are already saying what it is that we want to say in our field, and we see another life coach, she's got a whole course on the same thing we want to teach about. So what? That you're into comparison. If somebody is teaching a course that you also want to teach, you should get excited. You should actually get excited about that and not downtrodden about that, because that means that there's a market for it. You want to teach something that people are teaching because that means that there's an open pool for it. There's a market for it. When you come in to teach something brand new, you got to put a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of money behind that thing for people to catch on to it. So don't get upset when you see someone doing what it is that you want to do. Actually get excited about the possibility of so many people wanting to learn what it is that you want to teach. So, you guys, that is what I have for you guys tonight. And look at me, all the way on time, 7:21. These calls are actually 30 minutes, you guys, for those of you guys who don't know. I plan these calls to be 30 minutes, and I plan to always finish with approximately 10 minutes left. So if I have anybody that has any questions or comments or concerns, press *6. We can all hear you, and I will open all the way up at the end. And let me say this before you guys start opening up. I should have said this at the beginning. Y'all forgive me. If you guys got anything from tonight's call, I would highly, highly, highly love it if you guys would go over to my last Instagram post and let me know 2 to 3 things that you were able to take away from tonight's call. I would greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you guys would go over and let me know 2 or 3 things that you guys were able to take away. And if we have a question or caller, press *6, say your name, where you're calling from, and we can all hear you. And if we don't have any callers, we will end tonight. *6 to unmute yourself. We can all hear you.
Hey, Angel, it's Kiera.
Yes, hey, Kiera. Hey, lady.
Hey, so I just wanted to be proof that when you said that leaders know that repetition is key to whatever, I'm going to just say success, I just wanted to be proof. I was like, dang, she could change art to repetition or something like that, because, I mean, obviously for those on the line who don't know me or haven't heard of me, I've taken Angels in your business. I've had one-on-one with her. I've taken her classes, courses. Obviously, I've heard this class several times.
Yep.
But again, like she just said, leaders believe in, they know how powerful repetition is. So I think a lot of people even get stuck when they're trying to create content. They think that they always have to reinvent something new, right? And the power in repetition is unspeakable. But I just wanted to come on and just prove that exactly what you just said is exactly the case. Like we never get tired of hearing you, and a lot of people think that they always have to be coming with something fresh and new for their brand. And the truth is that a lot of times people will love your old stuff, right? Even better the second time than they did the first time.
Right, and Kiera, and you know this too, because when you hear something the first time, we don't hear everything. And then when we hear it the second time, we may be mentally in a different place to even receive the information differently. So absolutely, absolutely, yep, I love it. Thank you, lady.
You're welcome.
I love it. That was Kiera from Georgia, you guys. Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns? Press *6. We can all hear you.
Hi, Angel. This is Dina from
Yes,
Charlotte.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Just a comment. I just want to thank you just for just get me focused with the logo because I think that's what I'm running into right now with I'm just like kind of focused on the business side of trying to
Mhm.
get a logo, thinking about a website, thinking about a business account and all that stuff and still trying to do my certification because I signed up for a certification course. And so with the coaching, so it's like my brain is all over the place right now of trying to take care of the business side, wanting to learn about life coaching, then thinking, okay, how do I put content out there because I'm nervous with the like Facebook and Instagram, and I'm not like one of those social media people, but I've been doing it, posting a little bit more like this week, just trying to post out little things. So I just wanted to thank you just for, just like don't so much focus on the brand and the logo and the colors. So that kind of just pulled me back in a little bit just to just kind of focus myself because I'm like, I want to take my business serious
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things. Because I don't just want to be like just a regular, just a small business that just put anything out there. So like I said, so I'm just trying to get my mind like, okay, Dina, you gotta focus on. I'm just trying to focus on everything, if that makes sense. So, and so
It
the
does
question
make
is,
yeah.
I was
Go
about
ahead.
to
I'm
say,
sorry.
so, or maybe even just a question, just like what do you recommend that we drill in more of? And I don't know if it's just a little bit off topic from the branding, but just focus on the business side. Like how did you do that? Like break it up so much where you weren't just so much on the business or just so much of the content. How did you kind of structure that a little bit, if you don't
Mm,
mind answering,
not at
or is
all.
that a
So
different?
no, no, no. So you're saying how do I structure the how do I structure the business side of it with creating content
Yeah, well,
and
creating content and just like your branding and like, cause and I maybe just in the beginning, cause to me just looking at your Instagram and your videos, you look like you have it all together. But I'm like
girl,
maybe in the
ha,
beginning.
girl, ha, ha, ha.
I do. I love your branding though. I do like the pink and the black because as soon as it
Nobody
pops
has
up.
it all together. Nobody does. No, listen, I really want you to hear that because I got stumped by that thing too. Thinking that other
Okay.
coaches, well, God, she's got this, she's got that. Dina, realistically, we are all figuring this thing out as we go along. We really,
Okay.
really are. The only difference between you and I is that I've been doing this a little bit longer. That's it. So
Okay.
I may be able to share some wisdom with you that will help you not go down the wrong road, or not the wrong road, but down a road that's going to take you longer than it
Okay.
would have had you had somebody alongside you. But no, that is let me ask you this, Dina. Do you know what my logo is?
Well, I know somebody, you had asked somebody that on one of the videos. You're like, I don't have one. It's Angel Richardson. I guess it's my signature, the angelrichardson.com. But it's not so much of your logo. It's just your colors. It's like when I see on Instagram, even before I see the name, I know that you posting something. Like if I just look real quick, I'm like, oh, that's Angel. Let me see what she's saying. So it's like I kind of know you. I kind of know already, even without, having the logo on the black and white stripes, so without a logo, your brand is still, I know when that's Angel putting out something.
Well, I will say this. I will say this. Like I am intentional with my fonts. Like I do only use like about 3 fonts total, so I'm very
Mhm.
intentional about stuff like that. As far as the
Mhm.
colors, Dina, whatever color I like this week, that's the color I'm going with. But
Okay.
and but it just so happens that I love pink, right?
Okay.
I love pink, black, and white, and so I just roll with that. Like it's just focus on. I know you didn't ask me this, but I want to tell you what to focus on. Okay,
Okay.
just
No, I'll take it,
mainly
please. Anything.
mainly focus on building your audience through teaching classes and sharing
Okay.
your wisdom and your content and your ways of doing things, because I can promise you you're going to be like as you get out here and start teaching your classes and start working with people, I mean, yes, obviously you can have your basics in place, your social media sites, right? If you have a website, great. If you do not, great. You can create a one-page site where you can just collect emails, which is totally fine as well, and just focus on building relationships with people. And letting them get used to you going live, let them get used to you teaching classes, let them get used to you being the leader that they turn to. That's what you really need to focus on. And when you start doing that, Dina, you'll know when it's time to, okay, now this girl asked me for this kind of class, or I had 3 people on my call last night that asked me, did I have a course about this? Let me be on the back. And see, that's how you do it. You get out here and you talk to the people and you teach them, and then as they're talking, you're writing down, okay, this girl says she wants to learn how to write a book or an ebook. Okay, boom, I know how to do that. I can teach that class next week. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
but when we're sitting on the bed and we're not doing anything, and we're just scrolling through Instagram, comparing ourselves, we never even give ourselves a chance to gain the clarity that we so desperately pray for every single day.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
So welcome.
I appreciate you. I'm glad I found you on YouTube a couple months ago, so I'm learning a lot.
Tell me who you are. Are we connected on Instagram at all?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Live Life is Valuable every day. I don't go under my name yet, but I'm Live Life is Valuable every day. So yes, I'm on Instagram, and I just got your book, so I was so excited. I got my planner. I've been writing in it and everything. So yeah, you've helped me a lot, and I really appreciate you so much.
You are so well. Come say something to me on Instagram, girl, so I can put a face to you. Okay.
Okay, I will.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. You guys, we have time for another caller. Press *6, say your name and where you're calling from. We can all hear you. If there are no more callers, I'm going to open the line up all the way so I can feed off of you guys' energy and hear your voices. No more questions, no more comments, no more concerns. And, of course, I put my paper away. Really, Angel? Okay. Yes, I've been doing conference calls for over 12 years, and I still don't know the prompts. I still look at my sheet. Okay, hang on, y'all. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay, we are all unmuted, you guys. Thank you guys for showing up tonight for this Wednesday night success call. I will see you guys same time, same place. If anything changes, you guys, I'll let you guys know via email. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
To receive more information about additional products by Angel Richardson or engage her for seminars or women's conferences, please visit www.angelrichardson.com.